Hey, y'all. Welcome to the ranch. It's Mary Campbell, Unleash the Medium, and I hope you remember to go to my Facebook page. I have a group called Unleash the Medium. Join it. You can post your questions for me to answer on the air, and we'll get going. I have a special guest from Texas. She's a friend and a colleague, and she is medium Teresa Sampson, and she's going to start talking about her little journey into mediumship. But what I wanted to share with you is this book. This is called The Last Breath. Kind of bad light on it. But anyway, Teresa's in this book, and I'm in this book. I'm in chapter 12, which is called, Oh My, There's a Horse in the Room, where I talk about communicating with animals and spirit. And Teresa's actually in chapter 8, where her chapter name is Opening the Door to Spirit. And that's what Unleash the Medium is all about, is how do you do it? How's it happen? And we all have different experiences because we're all different human beings with a different spiritual experience. So I'll let Teresa introduce herself, and she can kind of give us a little recap of what her chapter is about and her experience, and I'll ask her a couple questions. So go ahead, Teresa.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited about our book, The Last Breath.
Yeah.
And my chapter is chapter 18 on page 117. And again, it's Opening the Door. And it tells a story of from when I was a child, seeing spirit and not understanding, finding just not knowing what it was, and then the journey into discovery, and it basically happened after the death of my father. And that's whenever I started hearing things, and I was led and guided by spirit to open up my gifts for mediumship. And I met Mary along the way, and it's just been such a fun trip. And thank you for having me.
The funny thing is, I was in California at the time, and we met each other virtually in another spirit-led group, and she was in Texas, and I'm like, oh my God, my family's in Texas. So what do you know? I end up moving back to Texas, and here my fellow Texan medium, Teresa, lives a few hours away. Texas is a big state. So come on, Teresa, keep sharing.
Well, it's been great. And actually, I feel that Spirit led us to be together, because I was shocked and excited to find out that my father knew your father many years ago. And and so I just, I know, what is the chance of that? But it did happen. I feel that brought us together, and it was meant to be. It's like part of the plan. But
Spirit has a plan for us.
But I just wanted to say one more thing about our book is there's 48 different mediums. It's a huge book, and it would be a lovely gift in this holiday season. And so anyway, it's a really good read.
Amazon? You can get it on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon, and it's in Kindle format and also the paperback. So it's great.
Yeah. So what happened to you when you were a child that was so profound that it kind of freaked your mom out too?
Oh yes. Well, one time I had been playing outside. I was a tomboy, had a horse, and I was muddy and dirty, and she wanted me to wash my hair. And so she set up a chair in front of the sink in the bathroom, and I was there, but there was a storm coming in, and I had told her that I was very afraid that I would be struck by lightning, and I didn't want to have my hair washed, and I was very verbal about it, and she told me that I was being silly, that nothing like that would happen. And so as soon as she started washing my hair, there was a ball of fire. It looked like a ball of fire popped through the window onto the vanity, and it was popping along right at me. And that was something, we both screamed. I'll never forget. She picked me up and ran through the house. We were both screaming. And she just, it was like, how did she know that? And throughout my life, many things have happened that I either dreamed it or I knew that it was going to happen before it did. And that was one occurrence that my mother was like, well, how did she know that was going to happen? and anyway, that ball of fire, it popped into the telephone and exploded the telephone. And it was just a really dramatic occurrence. But it was especially exciting to, afterwards you could think back that you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I remember when we first met too, you had talked about, who was it, John Edwards, that kind of got you back on the path of exploring your spirituality, mediumship, and the like?
Yes.
Tell that story.
Well, I didn't really even know much about mediums at that point, and I actually wanted to start an organic garden. And I was looking through, this was when the Kindle books first came out. It was back 10 years ago. And it was all a whole new concept. So I was looking for gardening books in my Kindle, and all of a sudden this book went by, and it was by a medium. And I didn't really want to, my father had just died, but I just didn't feel that I wanted to read that book. And every time I would pick up the Kindle and look for a book, that would be there. And I started hearing this voice. It's at the end of the book. And then I talked back. I said, well, I don't want to read the book. But it kept coming back. And in the end, I purchased the book, and it was so fun. Because at the end of the book was everything metaphysical, everything about mediumship. And it was like, that's what drew me into this and allowed me to open myself to this concept and to develop my gifts.
Right. And our paths kind of crossed at the same, you had gone on your path for a while before we met, but right about that same time we met is when, Spirit kept bugging me to get back into my spirituality, because I used to see ghosts or spirit people and all kinds of weird things. Always happened, but it was kind of felt normal to me. But then once my kids were out of the house, grown and out of the house, Spirit just kept knocking on my door going, you really have to work with spirit. No, I don't want to. Yes, you do. No, yes. Anyway, I finally followed the call, and one of the first people I met was you. On a fellow medium, Jeanette Meek. Let's send out some healing prayers for her. She's just a wonderful, wonderful medium who's good friends with Paul Salick. And so anyway, that's how we kind of connected. But in your story in the book too, just like in mine, I talk about signs. Like you just start seeing signs, like you just mentioned. That book kept coming up and it wouldn't go away. And sometimes as humans, we just ignore the signs when really we should pay a little more attention to them, because it's like Spirit called me. It's knocking at your door. You really have to answer the call, because it might be your soul path to get your spirituality together. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your higher self, your soul, your spirit inside you, and your spirit family and soul family. So, Teresa, I think you mentioned some things in the book about how you should look for signs or something like that.
Well, I feel that everyone is given signs, and if you are given signs, that it's important to follow them and know that there are people, if you don't understand about spirituality, about the spirit realm, that there are people who can teach you. And, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you are touched by spirit, they're telling you that they want to connect, and it's a wonderful way to find a way to open up to the concept and maybe find out that you're a medium.
Yeah, and in your book too, like I was given the directive from Spirit that I'm supposed to help every day, I call extraordinary people, be able to communicate with Spirit, through different ways, signs or auditory or visual, dreams, different ways like that. And what I found impressive about your chapter 2 is at the end, you talk about your mom in hospice and how, can you explain what you wrote about in the book about the spirit people coming to visit?
Yes, I see spirit, and I see them around her. And she has a large family, and a lot of them are in spirit. And I know my father is, he comes as well. But I can see the shapes, and with my father, I can see it's like blinking lights, red and blue. And and sometimes I'll hear him knock on the wall, and it's usually 3 raps. And but
kind of like the Fox sisters with the rapping.
It is, but I know that they're there, and they're just letting me know that they're there to be with her when she goes. And it's important for all of us to know that when we do, if a loved one passes or when you pass, that you're never alone. When you take your last breath, you're always with someone who has come in to help you to cross into the spirit realm and to go into the light. So it's there's nothing to fear, and you're never alone.
Right. And there's so much talk about after you pass, what it's like over there, and it's wonderful and full of love. And Teresa, hey, I'm going to say, why don't you come back another time and we'll have some more conversations, because there's the spirit world is huge. And I think it would be really fabulous if, like, next time maybe you come back, we could talk about colors, because Teresa's really good at seeing and reading colors. It's one of her strong suits. So right now, what we could do is we could take a call. We actually have a caller, Cynthia, from Chicago. So when we get hooked up with Cynthia, let's see how we can help her, Teresa.
Okay.
Whenever you get on, just speak.
Hello?
Hi, Cynthia.
Hello?
How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you. How are you?
Very good. How can Teresa and I help you tonight?
Well, I was just hoping to get a general reading, I guess.
Is there a specific area in your life you'd like to focus on? Like, work, home, finances, whatever, some kind of specific area like that we can do.
Not off the top of my head. I mean, no, I just guess I was wondering, just if what would come to you, about me. That's all, just like a general reading, what would pop out about me.
Well,
okay.
I've thrown a few cards if you would like me to just give a little tidbit, and maybe Mary can pick up something for you as well.
I think that'd be great.
The first card I drew is the Horse King. And this is regarding its assistance and wanting to be in control. You need to ask for guidance, and you need to find a way to have control of your situation, take your control back. This card is saying that there are people in your life who have taken away your power, and you have the ability to have to bring that back, to be in your power, and ask for assistance from someone that can guide you and bring you back onto the correct path. The second card I drew is the word Lord. And
Let's
this
see that card.
Can you see it? I'm not sure, but there.
Yeah, just hold it up to the camera. Oh, okay. There it is.
And it's communication. So you need to really work with how you communicate with other people. You need to be careful with to look for anyone who might be dishonest, and know that you deserve to be praised, that you work hard, and that, with communicating, clear communication, you will get back on the path. And my last card is the Swan Queen.
Oh, nice. I like that.
And this card is about transformation. So new beginnings are coming for you. You are intuitive. You need to be patient and allow your intuition to guide you. Transformation is sometimes it may be difficult because old ways have to leave, and in order for the new to come in. And sometimes that's a little rocky. But just know that you need to be in your power. You need to be able to allow this transformation to occur, and seek people that can give you assistance, that can guide you, but avoid the people that might be dishonest and that would take away your power, your personal power.
Would you understand any of that, Cynthia?
Yes. It makes a lot of sense. Yes. Thank you.
Great. I wonder if we could pick up any colors on Cynthia.
Let me see.
Let's reflect on that a minute. I feel green.
I get green as well. A lot of green, like a healer.
Yeah, and I feel like you have a lot of love inside of you. And green's supposed to be, I don't know, we have 7 chakras and more, but green is the color of the heart chakra. And also some people say pink, which is my favorite color. But for you, I just feel like there's a lot of green around you. But I feel if I could recommend a color to you, it would be blue, and it would be blue for clarity. And that would make perfect sense with what Teresa was talking about.
I'm
also, okay. I'm getting orange as well. And orange for me with you is creativity, that you're very creative and you need to be able to express yourself through your creativity. And that could be anything with the arts or music. But you're very, very creative. Your ability to make things, and it not only lifts you up when you do that, but it excites other people when you give them your gift.
Yeah, I feel like, Cynthia, and maybe you do it now, but I feel like journaling would be good for you, because I can actually see you writing, but doodling at the same time, like, drawing little flowers or circles or scrolls.
Yeah. I do that.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because you're good at it. And that's a wonderful thing to do. And I mentioned last week, I don't know if you saw last week's, but on my website, I have a free guided meditation. It's only 15 minutes and it's on gratitude. And I feel like you'd really enjoy it. And whoever else in the audience, I thank them for watching us too. But that would be a good meditation to focus on, because you have a lot to give, but I kind of feel like you're kind of feeling like you're in a box, and I feel like you really want to break out because you have all this wonderful potential to do that. And I definitely do see like purple color around you too, which is very spiritual. Would any of that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. It sure does.
Oh, good. Good.
Thank you.
So, Teresa, do you see? Oh, look at the card I pulled. It's an angel card, and it's called self-acceptance. If you can see it okay there. Self-acceptance. And that seems to be kind of what Teresa was talking about. Do you have anything to add, Teresa?
Oh, I just think that you do have a lot of creativity, a lot of that you do need to accept who you are and love yourself because you're such a beautiful person. And you have so much to give to others. And I feel like at times you may give too much, but just embrace yourself because the beauty just shines through. I can feel the beauty from within. And it's like that green, as Mary said, it's opening your heart. And it's just beautiful. You're a beautiful individual. And you need to know that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're awesome. I'm going to pull one more card for you because we're just having so much fun with you, Cynthia. I hope you're enjoying this too. Oh, look!
I am. I'm enjoying it more than you could even imagine.
Oh, good. I hope you come back next week. Tomorrow is destiny. Today is the present. So, yeah, just stay within your own power. And if you can think, because you are a giver, and I feel like you do a lot for a lot of people, probably more than you should be doing, just because you do have a kind nature. And what I would recommend that you consider is the infinity symbol. It's kind of like a letter 8. And if you think of 50-50, giving, receiving, that it's always in balance, because I know myself as an overgiver, that was a real challenge and struggle for me to pull in those reins and to just focus on that 50-50. So I think you'll be great if you remember that. You know, maybe doodle a little infinity symbol in your journal to remind yourself. Today is my day. Little infinity symbol. Yay, Cynthia. Team Cynthia.
Yeah.
And I would like to tell Cynthia that.
What? What did you say?
I was just going to say you're absolutely right about the overgiving and having difficulty receiving, and so it's something that I've been aware of for a while now, and have been trying to work on, pulling my reins back, like you said. Yes.
and we're saying it, but it's spirit guided. Spirit is through us telling you to do that for your highest good, for yourself, because it's like being on the airplane. When the oxygen mask drops down, you have to put it on yourself first before you can help your child or your baby, because if you don't make it, then nobody makes it. So Cynthia, we're going to have to let you go because we only have a couple minutes left, but God bless you. I hope you do what we ask you to do, because I feel you'll take Cynthia back. Teresa, you want to have a parting word for Cynthia?
Yeah,
Oh, you're welcome.
just know you're loved, and you're such a beautiful person, and embrace yourself. You know, the transformation is occurring, and open your heart and allow the new to come in, because it's going to be a new good thing. And just write down what you want to show up in your life, and that will help it come in.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a
Thank you
journal
so
to
much.
do that.
Yeah.
Y'all are
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
And
You're both beautiful
so God
people
bless.
too, and I
Have a-
really appreciate it.
Oh,
I-
follow us on Facebook. Medium Teresa Sampson, Mary Campbell on Facebook or Instagram. Check out the website. I do have a special for A1R psychic radio people. So if you put the code in, if you book a reading, use A1R for that special. And we're almost out of time. Teresa, you want to say any parting last words?
I just want to say,
Teresa, where can they find you?
You can find me at teresasampson.com or Teresa Sampson Medium on Facebook. And thank you so much for letting me be here. It's been great.
Yeah. It's been a great night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hey, get your questions on the Facebook page. And we'll see you all next week. Happy trails. And welcome to the ranch. And Teresa's another Texan. So, hey, us Texans, we got it on. We got it going.